times. Find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times. Find my friends again and good times. I said good times. Find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times. Find my friends again and again. I said I wanna have good times, good times. Find my friends again and good times. I said good times. Find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times. Find my friends again and this town with the speakers loud and the radio playing old Sublime that we stole online, every verse we know. And we hadn't had a clue if we'd make it by noon or even where we'd go. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. We don't need a map, everywhere. The tank said E and we all agree that we're just too broke. Fill it back up, so we left your truck on the road with Rome. Then we found a motel with a cigarette smell, so we knew we're close. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. Is where I can find some peace of mind to make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Keep on searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road. But don't get left behind on the road. Don't get left behind on the road. Don't get left behind on the road. And we turn our music up when he raps about hope. We hold our thumbs high and hope someone is kind enough to give us all a ride. And we wouldn't have a clue if we'd make it back to or even where we'd go. We don't need a map, everywhere is home. A Ford stopped on the street, said where you trying to be. We said we don't really care. We'll know it when we're there. We took on down the road. He flipped on his radio. Santeria started slow, so we knew that we were close. Home is where I can find some peace of mind to make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Keep on searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road. 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 Home is where I can find some peace of mind to make my own way. I don't know where I will end up, but I'll find it someday. Keep on searching, engine burning while we're turning it around. But don't get left behind on the road.
Transcend humanity with Omen.
What is that?
It's cutting edge VR, Flynn.
It looks like it's something from the future, you know?
Flynn took a trip to future London, saw something she wasn't supposed to. Now people from there are trying to kill us.
Welcome to the grand finals of Newell Winter 2022 Amazon Women and Non-Binary Valorant. That is a mouthful, but it is the grand finals. I am Wintero and I am joined by Grace, my lovely co-caster today. Grace, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for this, actually. Again, we've come a very long way to get to the point we are now. There's some amazing prizes up for grabs, and I'm just excited to see some good old-fashioned Valorant.
Talking about seeing Valorant on our stream, you will be seeing Ashante versus Boosted Eagles. This is the grand final, so both teams have won a prize, whether that is in second place a 150 Amazon voucher between the team or a 251. So it is the difference between £20 of an Amazon voucher that can order a lot of sticky notes off Amazon. I have been seeing some amazing see-through sticky notes, especially coming up into exam season for these students, but it is all for the bragging rights as well. So Ashante haven't actually won a women and non-binary tournament yet in the university space. So is this their chance to finally take away, not in the second place anymore, but take away the grand prize? Or is it Boosted Eagles, the new mix that we're going to see, beat them to the top?
This is a thing, isn't it? It's do Ashente. You know, we've seen them in previous reiterations of this tournament. Is this the opportunity now for them to come up top trumps? Again, the fact that they've come through the playoffs bracket on a constant 2-0 victory is certainly something good to see, and it could really show the caliber and their ability and their chances of actually beating this out. I do believe Boosted Eagles, they did have a bit of a rough time against London Legion Valorant. That was the one time that they did lose a map against that opposite team. But speaking of other teams as well, I just want to give a massive shout out to Mid Mummies, Plymouth Quokers, London Legion Valorant, and Synchronized Noobs, because they will be playing in the kind of contention bracket today. They're not in this kind of finals. They won't get any prizes, but it's still the fact that they get to have some fun tonight and play some really good Valorant. So hats off to them, and I hope you have a great night of games, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely all the teams you spoke about there, but also believe it's Cloud Demons versus Not Women who are in, well, the lower grand finals, playing for the third place, which is a £20 Amazon voucher for each player. So still stuff on the line there. But we are going to be seeing Ashante Boosted Eagles. Without even looking at the map pick, this is a weighted BO5. So Ashante will be starting off with 1 map point, meaning they only have to win 2 consecutive maps to close out the series. But predictions, without knowing anything about the map vetoes, give me kind of a map line.
So prediction wise from me, I think I am going to go with this will be an Ashente dub. You know, they've been very consistent throughout the entire season, and I want to see them shine at the top finally. It's their moment, it's their time, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a way to start, well, the 2022-2023 academic year, then, well, a clean victory through the Winter Women and Non-Binary Tournament. But just talking about the players before we get onto the map bans, we do kind of have a core of 2 teams here. We have the Mouse Plays core of 3, and then the Control Freaks core as well. Both teams have competed in Game Changers Open Qualifier, neither really qualifying for the main event, but it does show the caliber of players that we do have. We have, well, such a core. It is going to see if it's going to be a core v core. What are we thinking on that kind of side? Do you think the experience of these players are really going to like transfer into the gameplay that we're going to see?
I think it'd be very hit and miss. Again, I think sometimes, you know, we set our expectations higher when we know that they've already got that comp experience under their belts. So maybe we can kind of be more drawn to be a little bit more critical when it comes to perhaps a few mishaps, perhaps a few agents not being played in the current meta, you know, things like that. It's the things that we would automatically assume would happen based on what they do bring to the table. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, though. I think that, again, if they do have competitive experience, that's why we expect them to be working around, you know, things that are current metas, specific agent combos. And I think at the end of the day, if they don't do that, we can also assume that maybe they're just having a bit of fun, bit of the old razzle dazzle with it as well. But I do think because we have those two core rosters kind of lurking about in this matchup, it should be a little bit of a stable scorcher, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen stable scorchers, barn burners. It does seem is going to be, well, your motto for this entire event. But it's the grand finals. We have to whip it out at some point. May as well do it in the intro. What are we thinking about the maps that we talk about? The kind of maps that they would prefer to go over into this veto before we actually get it up, as they are currently doing it now. What map do you think is the first map we're going to see? Obviously, the first map picked is not going to be played since it is a weighted finals. So technically, the second map in this BO5.
I think it's a thing. I think we're going to see your kind of classics, probably like Ascent, Haven, things like that. We did see a little bit of it teased throughout the rest of the tournament too, things like Icebox and Pearl. So it'd be really nice to see that come through, especially I think Pearl would be really nice on the basis that, you know, we've only just started to get that map into comp play since it was released. It would be nice to actually see these two go head to head on that. Maybe a little bit of untested grounds for these two rosters as well. So that could be quite nice. I do believe the game last week, Ashente versus Clout Demons, the third map was meant to be Pearl, and I was quite excited for that because I was like, oh, this would be nice. See what util they bring to the table, you know. But we didn't quite get that far. So I think certainly in a best of 5 situation, I'd love to see the Pearl come through, just so we can see how both teams fare on that and what kind of creativity they want to bring to the table as well, or will they go for things that we've perhaps seen in you know, T1 as an example. So I think that's where I want to go. You kind of more razzle dazzle maps than the kind of basic cookie cutter ones. But only time will tell, I guess.
Well, we have a little bit of the map vetoes dripping through. You know, you said you was going to expect to see an Ascent, well, Haven, that kind of stuff. Do you know what the first map ban was? Breeze and Ascent. So we will not be seeing those maps. The first ban that is going map that's going to be, well, not played will be Bind. So that is the map that is the weighted map over in favor of Ashente. But the first map that we'll actually see played will be Pearl. And then we will see Haven and Fracture. Do you know what? I quite like this map veto as it's shaping up so far.
Yeah, I will say that, like, you know, Breeze getting banned out instantaneously, I don't think that surprised me too much. We've seen that ban pretty much come through instantly throughout the season. It's those long lines of sight. People don't want to deal with it. The fact that the maps that we are left with have these tighter corners, these twists, these turns, I'm expecting some punchy approaches to each other. I want it to get a little bit aggressive, you know, Winter. I want it to get a little bit fast and furious. That's the kind of gameplay I love to see. And I really hope that we do see that start to come through a bit more. Again, last time we really had this tease almost around that beautiful
Let's see if we can get your fade picked, but instantly it is the Sky that's getting hovered. Let's see if we can get the fade. But for me personally, my ultimate setup or ultimate agent lineup, I would
Ooh, go on.
have Reyna, a Chamber, Fade, Astra, and a KO. Actually, no, not KO, Sage.
Do you know what? I respect it. I respect it. I think the Sage can be really vital when it comes to that final collapse, especially if you're using that Ice Wolf for that cover to get the actual plant down. We're already seeing a little bit of a hover over that Fade and KO combo on the side of Boosted Eagles, and that I love to see, especially when they're going for that defense. That indicates to me a bit of a hyper-aggressive push initially, which again, I really want to see in terms of momentum, in terms of map control, how both these rosters play into it. Yeah, I like that lineup that you've put there. I like that lineup. I think it would be a solid one. And again, maybe there's a bit of an inkling around that. Granted, it's not an ice wall, but I think the Viper can bring that same kind of idea of that extra cover, that wall going up, things like that. And then, of course, you do have the ult of Viper's Pit, which could be super, super impactful on both sides. Again, we've seen many, many times on defense how you can essentially hold an entire site, an entire cutoff rotation by yourself. So that's certainly going to be a spicy one to see. And Pearl and Viper is a nice combo that we're starting to see more and more of. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I do love the Viper pick. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is the solo Viper smokes. Yes, it's rechargeable. Like, you can put the wall up and down throughout the round, depending on how much poison you have left. But that wall is not moving. Once it is down, you are set where your only smokes are going to be for the rest of the round. So if, say, we were going for, let's exec onto B with the B long, the smoke goes down, great. But you get shut out, denied by the util of possibly the other Viper, the Fade, the Chamber that are going to be anchoring that site. You want to rotate. Then you're going on to A with zero smokes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how both teams are going to be playing around that, which for the side of Boosted Eagles is going to favor them a lot starting on the defense, since you can really stretch Viper's utility across the map. You can put the smoke up A main and then the wall towards B with however you want posted up art and double doors. It's just, you have to be wary of how lacking your smokes are going to be on the attack if you do decide to take a slower take or to rotate.
100%. I'm wondering actually if we'll see a little bit of that in action, to be honest, as time goes on between these two. For now, though, the opening round is underway. Looks like no one's contesting this kind of B long, which is always a bit of an interesting one. I always expect people to expect that first initial aggressive push from there. But it looks like we're getting a very, very passive bit of play here. And there we go, opening engagement. Pinker taking down Rentaro. It's a nice way to start things off for sure.
Yeah, and look at that. What you want from your Jet player, being able to sneak in, get that entry, and look at that. Opened up the A site for the spike down. Pinko picking up another one for herself onto Bingus. Now it's going to be a 3v5 retake with the Chamber going back through mid.
Sure, this is where the difficulty really cuts in, because look how many lines of sight that they're able to hold. Ashente looks so strong right now, certainly with Bunny getting a pick there. Pinker, another one down to Lavrita too. That's 3 for the round so far, and there we go. Skeleton finish things off. A flawless round for Ashente. And well, they're certainly going in a little bit on fire. That's the things we like to see.
Absolutely, and Pinker being able to, weave her way through the defense of Boosted Eagles, masterfully, and pick up 3 for herself during that round. What you want to be seeing from your dealers, getting that entry, being able to get behind enemy lines and really secure the round for your team.
This is exactly it. This is exactly it. Your roles to get stuck in, get those entry picks, clear that breathing room to allow for that map control to start falling through. And again, Belong, very uncontested. The flash does go through, but that's going to give Pinker so much breathing room to start leading her team towards this side. Looks like the defense are clocking on a little bit of rotation starting to come through, but for now, look at this collapse. I mean, goodness gracious me, Summer. There we go. Beautiful pick down to Lavrita. Java falling down as well, and that spike can go down.
And it is a post plant. Let's see if they can close out this bonus round into being able to carry forward those weapons into bonus round, seeing if we can really make this flawless. Bunny is definitely going to give her best try, taking out that pick onto Rintaro, but Zube has something else to say about Vichnix and Pinka picking up one for themselves during this round. One loss. It is not the worst buy. It's not the worst buy round for them. Only one rifle lost. And definitely enough money in the bank for Shente to carry on through. But look, we already have the Sky Seekers online in the 3rd round.
This is it. The Ashente, they've really come in just absolute eyes on the prize mode. Granted, you know, attack, I think, especially on this map, you have to be a little bit more punchy with it. Can't give too much breathing room to that defense, but the defense are really just not contesting, again, these longer lines of sight. As time goes on, maybe we'll see this change, though. Especially when we do see the chamber action across the board. For now, a little bit of a quiet before the storm. Pinka goes around the corner. There we go. Beautiful shot down to Bingus. Can the trade come through? No, it can't. Mantaro falls as well. Still no trades coming through from the side of Boosted Eagles. But at least that is a nice, swift, easy collapse onto that A side. And here we go. The spike is indeed going down yet again.
And this is supposed to be the bonus round. Bazube, lovely shot onto Egg and to Vitrinix. Java picking up one for themselves. This is such more winnable round. 3v2. Seeker still online. Flashes in hand. They haven't got enough time to take this slowly. Seeker's popped. Flash out.
There we go. Beautiful trades coming through, lighting it up, and that defuse can go down. That's the first round on the board for Boosted Eagles. Again, looked a little bit rocky for them then, but they really came through. That retake was very strong indeed.
I had my doubts on the retake. We did see 2 lovely shots from Pinka and Bunny with their push in through A main onto those rifles in the hands of side of Boosted Eagles. But lovely retake coming in from Zube and Java, being able to really dwindle down the numbers and then, well, turn the number advantage in their favor and secure the round. It is an expensive round. Look at their buy. We have a Spectre and a Guardian. But a round win, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, this is it. This is it. Like, it's all about, you know, I was going to say points mean prizes, but rounds mean prizes, I suppose. Again, look how much they're just really not willing to contest belong. I think I want to see that a little bit more. Maybe it's me just loving a bit of the more aggressive play styles when it comes to these collapses, but ooh, this could be a little bit spicy. Lavrita, I'm not sure if Pinka is aware of their position here, but certainly getting all of this space right up to the back. There we go. Beautiful shot there. That's opening up so much breathing room. That spike is indeed down. And this is going to be potentially a bit of a clunky retake because look at how much breathing space Ashente have created for themselves.
And look at this stack towards backside. We have 3 players here. 3 rifles in the hands. The jumps are going to come down though. Binga's picking up one for himself. But Vitrinix is in the clash. Picking up 3 for himself. It's a 1v2. Zube, are you aware there's another one backside? Doesn't matter. Egg posted up long, able to take, well, the head jiggle peek up over the box towards B long and, well, secure that round. It is getting a little bit more shaky, guys. The rounds are getting closer and closer, especially when we get into these buy rounds. But the one thing that I want to talk about is how easily they're getting onto site. It does seem that there's so little resistance when they are pushing onto the site, possibly playing more for that retake, but 5v5 retake it with the amount of utility both teams get, it's anything that could be except messy.
I think that's it. I think I'd like to see the longer lines of sight being utilized a little bit more by Zube. You know, they've got that util to do that, and it seems a bit of a waste to have them in these more close quarters engagements. I guess they want to go for these cheeky, ratty angles, those pixel peaks that we love to see. The flash is, well, no, the dog actually is being sent out. Again, look at how much util is being dumped so they can get this X2 underway. Trades all across the board. It's looking like the stock market yet again, and that spike can go down. Another clunky retake has to come through from Boosted Eagles. They did it on this site before. Can they do it again? The flashes do go out just to delay the timer a little bit more, but here we go. They're just very aware that the flanks might be coming through, actually. We just saw a little bit of Zubair looking around, just very desperately checking their flank just in case, but the focus needs to be on site. There we go. Egg taking down Lavrita as well. The duo pushing up now towards this A, and it's going to get very clunky very quickly. The flash going through. There we go. Egg taking out Zubair. Poor Java left now in a 1 versus 4 situation. Can they do anything? Desperately going for the shots, but no. Bunny shuts it down. And that is another dominant round on the board for the side of Ashente.
Any other gun, they would have won that round. I'm sorry, but that flash was perfect into the all four members of Ashente just hungry for that kill. Any other gun, possibly even being able to put down a spray down onto those players, but unfortunately it was the Sheriff in hand. It wasn't easy for them, so we'll take that round with a pinch of salt. Being able to get one kill and, well, a bit of damage onto the players. They're going to have to rebuy armor, rebuy utility. It made it quite an expensive round for them. But now we're going back into this rifle v rifle round. Let's see if we can get a pick maybe before they get the plant down. Have a little bit more bark in your bite when you're defending the B side, please.
I've got your trail.
This is it. Like, again, we do see Zuba at the back of B, but really, again, not utilizing this longer line of sight that I think could work so beautifully with them. And now both Util going out. Look again how much breathing room, but there we go. Zuba actually taking down Pinga. That could be huge. Binga's taking on Bunny as well. Egg does trade it back, but they have some massive casualties for the side of Ashente. Zuba, another one to Egg. Skeleton falls too. Free for the round for Zuba. Can they get this final one? Vitronix just hiding for now, trying to stay as far away as possible from the side of Boosted Eagles. I mean, that certainly went a lot better, Winter.
I think my telepathy worked. Get the pick before they get the spike down, please. And Zube went above and beyond, not only getting one for themselves, but also getting an extra two on top of that. Vitronix was spotted out, made for this late loot coming in through double door. Lovely spot out by the Jet and Fade player, I believe it was. But now, Zube, look at that. Clinical. It doesn't matter. Right? The other rounds, we're learning from the mistakes that we've had, which is great to see the adaptations coming in from the side of Boosted Eagles.
That's the thing too, like I really wanted to just see Zubair hold on to B. I think that's the right setup to make here, you know, regardless. And it's I don't know why they're being so hesitant to take some of these opening engagements. I think if they suddenly change up the momentum and they try and get those opening picks in a more aggressive manner, that might put a little bit of a spanner in the works to the side of Ashente. I don't think Ashente would expect that right now. So certainly a little bit of bite back coming through now from the side of Boosted Eagles. And Alvo, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what Ashente were indeed expecting, Winter. A little bit of a quiet before the storm here. Not really wanting to contest to something too soon. Testing the waters, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm picking up these altos, but we do have the chamber posted up on B long with the operator, I believe, in hand. But Zuba's going to be taking first contact here against Pinka with the Blade Storm. No committal.
It is. Sneaky around the corner. Will this Blade Storm land? There we go. There's at least one. Can you get the second? No, you can't. Bingus trades it immediately back out. But that at least was something. Again, a bit of a quiet round for Spa. A little bit of a kerfuffle around the mid. Speaking of kerfuffle, Egg trying to take an engagement there, unaware of the two lines of sight being held against them. Java can easily collect that shot nice and swiftly for Boosted Eagles. And this is looking a little bit scrappy, to be honest.
Yeah, we do love the up and down tape from the KO and fade over to the B side. I don't think Egg really know what they had in store for her, but it is a 4v1 now. Bingus picking up the kill onto Vitronix on the Viper in mid. Skeleton, let's see if we can get some damage. Trying to get a pick, maybe one or two, or even the spike down, get extra money for your team, but the time is dwindling and Navarita, that was a lovely shot onto Skeleton there. Closing the round differential, we're now only one round away from evening this up, and the economy for the side of Boosted Eagles is looking strong. But Tour de Force online for Ashante want to see more open engagement from the side of Egg. We've seen the looks coming down from Belong, sometimes fruitful, recently not so much. See if we can get an early pick, possibly even a rush onto a site, especially with how slow they've been playing in the previous rounds.
Let's play.
Yeah, 100%. I think that is indeed what they're going to try and do. Very good. Prowler going out just to make sure no immediate aggressive contention from the defense. So I know they've got at least a little bit of breathing work to deal with, but Bingus and Co on site, I mean, certainly so you have to assume at this point the execute may be coming where we don't want to get a bit too hasty just in case it's the old bait and switch. There we go, beautiful trades coming through. Bunny and Bingus both falling as casualties for that. But look at how much breathing room they've created. They can now collapse in. Spike can potentially go down with Taro